Hi everyone, Miss Julianne here. Today we're going to make something called a zine. So a zine can be a lot of different things and you can make them a lot of different ways. But what we're going to do today is make essentially a really small book out of one piece of paper. And this is one way to make a zine. So here's one sample that I made, and in it I wrote out the instructions for how we're going to make our zine today. So it has a cover, and then it has pages inside, and it's all made out of one piece of paper. And I'm going to show us how we can do it together. So all you're going to need for this is your one piece of paper. Ideally you want it to be a little bit thinner, like printer paper, so that it's easier to fold. And you're going to need a pair of scissors. So the first thing you're going to do is hold your page so that the long edge is at the bottom, and you're going to fold the long edges together. You want to try to line up the edges so that the corners meet, and fold them together and get a nice crisp edge. And then you're going to unfold this, and you're going to fold the two short edges together this time. You're going to do the same thing, meet the edges together. Try to get the corners to meet as much as you can. And then pinch it together and get a nice edge. So now, you're not going to unfold it this time, but you're going to fold these two edges along this crease together like this. So now the two long edges are going together. You're going to do the same thing that we did before. Meet the sides together, pinch together the sides, and get a nice crease. So that's how many times you're going to fold it right now. You can unfold it, and you'll have 8 sections in your piece of paper along the top and bottom. You'll have 8 total. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper and you're going to fold it again along this long edge, bringing the two long sides together along that same crease you already made. And now we're going to do something that might be a little tricky, so I'm going to lay this down to show a little easier. So I'm going to make some notches. So when you're doing this, you're going to work from the side of your page that's along the folded side. So this is my folded side up here. And I'm going to draw just a little notch right here and right here. But you do not have to do, but I'm doing it so that you can see where I'm going to be using my scissors to cut. So now that the page is folded, there are 4 sections. So you want to put a little notch at the first section on either side. And so what you're going to do is a really small cut right along that crease. So small, just like that. Same in both places that I marked. So again, I just did a little tiny notch right here, and a little tiny notch right here. And now what I'm going to do is cut just a very little bit of this top section of the page off. And again, I want that to be the side where the pages are folded, not the open side. So I'm going to flip this, and I'm just going to really cut a very small bit of the page from the top. So now I have a little notch that I just cut out in over the middle 2 sections of my paper. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move those little pieces out of the way, and now I'm gonna take these two sides, these furthest panels, and push them together. And so what that's gonna look like from the top is the middle is gonna kind of open. And I'm just gonna push those two sides together until you get kind of like this shape. So again, here's from this outside before I start. And then I'm just gonna push this panel and this panel together. And they're gonna kind of naturally wanna fold a certain way. So mine wanna go this way, so I'm just gonna let those pages fold in that direction. And then this page, I'm just gonna fold to one side. Recrease this edge. And now you've got a book. So I'll come back up. So now you have a book that has pages. You can have a front and a cover. And you can fill it with anything that you would like. You can write a story, you can make a comic, you can write instructions for how you can make something else like I did. Or you can just use it as a coloring page, or fill it in however you would like. Zines are really awesome because you can make a lot of these with just one piece of paper, and if you want to give them to people, you can always photocopy the page while it's flat, and then show them how you can turn it into a little book. Thanks for making with me today. Thanks everyone.